What's good, guys? We back here. Debate Lock. It's Clay Bans.
And it's Ryan.
Today is the big day, the first real pod, and we're gonna be talking about glitching. We're gonna be talking about what glitching means to us. We're gonna talk about if we agree with it. We're gonna talk about if the points where it crosses the line. We're gonna talk about our final thoughts, and we're gonna bring in some outside like celeb info about how the celebrities be glitching or how they be modding and stuff, and how going on like that. And we're gonna try to come to an agreement on our opinions, but it's debate lock, so probably not gonna come to a consensus. But we're gonna start off with a definition on the internet of what glitching is. This is from Urban Dictionary, and that's the act of exploiting glitches, errors, mistakes, or a bug in a system for harmless fun or devious mischief. Now, Ryan has some definitions of modding and hacking, which are sometimes in the same conversation as glitching, but a little different.
Yeah, so we kind of just want to clarify because we're going to be talking about glitching, and a lot of times, you might be playing a game, and I know you get maybe if it's playing Call of Duty and you get killed in a way that you did not see it coming, and you might accuse them of hacking or glitching or whatever. So we're just going to clear up. We're going to be talking about glitching, as Cleveland just said, and when you talk about modding or hacking usually comes down to actually getting in the code, and it's more kind of a more serious or complicated issue of hacking to the game code files to do a bunch of things. You could hack to create things like aimbot or wall hacks, is like making it so that your aim is perfect all the time, and that's obviously giving you an advantage in the game. Or sometimes there's times where people hack into the game files to just basically data mine information out of the game just to see what might be within the game files that's not on the surface level that everyone knows about. And with modding is usually doesn't involve hacking, but you might download a mod, which is basically someone else's hack that they created. And this can include a variety of like things before, like aimbot, where you can just download a mod and use that in the game to get a committed advantage. Or it can just include mods, like in Grand Theft Auto, a mod to make the game look more realistic. It could just alter the game in a variety of ways. It doesn't always have to be bad. But that's just modding and hacking. And kind of just to clarify, we're distinguishing those from glitching in what we're going to talk about today.
Thanks. And before we get deep into it, I just want to say that in solo player games, I 100% condone modding and hacking because that just makes it fun. And I know games like Fallout, they pretty much approve of it. They let people upload their own mods, and it's all about creating content with those kind of games. In the PC world, modding and hacking is like hand in hand, so it's hard to really stop people from doing that. And we're pretty much going to focus a little bit more on the console side, just because I feel like with the accessibility of like the data and stuff on PC games, it's kind of hard to ever eliminate hacking or modding, especially in the older games. But now, my definition of glitching is just exploiting. It's pretty much like the one I got from Urban Dictionary. It's just like exploiting a hole or a bug in a system to like just get a competitive advantage, to get ahead of everyone else. So it's kind of like how 2K has like the badge glitches every year, where pretty much you do some sus activity in the game and you get a whole bunch of VC, or you get your badge points and stuff like that. See, I really don't care for the VC glitches or stuff like that, because I do feel like games like the virtual currency games really they're really pay to win a lot nowadays. It's like a new trend from like the last 4 years, where the virtual currency means a lot to competitive play. I mean, as in for 2K, it's just leveling up your character, which, I mean, leveling up your guy doesn't really make you a better player. So that can, like, I don't really care for that. Like, it doesn't really bother me. But like doing it for the badges now, as everybody knows, at 2K, badges it makes or breaks your gameplay. you're as good as your badges. You can be the elite player. You don't have your badges, you're not doing anything. So you getting your badges and playing and getting your badges faster than other people playing and stuff like that. It's a very unfair advantage. Now, a lot of people will go on, oh, 2K is a bad game anyway. Like they deserve to get glitched, da da da, or um, Ronnie doesn't care for us, so we're gonna glitch, blah blah. Blah. But if everybody didn't glitch, the game would probably feel a lot better. Even though it would take a longer time, but you're still going to be at a competitive level all the time. Now, if you don't do the glitch fast enough, you got people 99 every badge, and you're at your 95 with maybe 75% of your badges, because badges are attained through gameplay styles as well. So if you don't play a certain way, you're not going to get your badges unless you put that effort in. But with the glitch, you can do whatever you want, get your badges, and be ready to go. So what's your
Yeah,
definition,
I
Ryan?
was. Uh, you just said a lot there, but so I just want to note on the as far as glitching in 2K, I'm fairly confident that if there weren't as many glitches in 2K, that I probably would have stopped playing earlier. You know, I think we both don't play much anymore, but I definitely would have stopped playing earlier. And as far as my definition of glitching, I think where we differ is that I put more weight on glitching as like a time saver, and I think that makes it more, I guess, okay. Because if it depends, it's I mean, it all depends on a case by case basis, which is it leans more towards. Is it more just a glitch that just saves you some time in the grind of the game, or is it one that gives you a big competitive advantage? And that's what you're kind of going into with the whole badges and VC and that sort of thing. And I'm more basically my definition would be it's definitely it's something in the game that you do to result in an unintended you know an unintended state of the game as of how the developers or how the video game producers wanted like the game to play. And basically I'm okay with any of that, whether it's single player or multiplayer, as long as it doesn't like impede on other people's experience in the game. And in regards to 2K, I think badge grinds and grind for VC, I don't think they impede on other people's play that much. Like it if you're playing somebody who has all their badges, you don't know if they glitched for it or if they grinded for it. At the end of the day, I don't think that impacts you that much. For the most part, the glitch is just saving you on time. So that's why I think I'm a little more intended to kind of not support the glitch, but I'm gonna use the glitch, and I don't feel that terrible about it.
See, my thing is that I feel like it's the whole situation where it's like one bad apple spoils the bunch, because once you open the floodgates to glitching, it's just like the Hoover Dam just collapsed, because the badge. All right, let's just say I condone. I mean, I'm trying to be impartial here, but let's just say I don't condone. Actually, I do condone. I do condone the badge glitch. I condone the VC glitch. Doesn't bother me at all. But after those glitches get exploited, it's like the glitchers are like, what can I do next? And that's when the demigod glitch comes into the game. That's when guys are running around with
Right.
7'6" centers, dribbling, dribble moves, step back threes. And then on Call of Duty, that's when guys are doing some crazy speed glitches, like when in Black Ops 4, when everyone was going for dark matter. You got guys running around the map at 100 miles per hour with knives, going on, getting choppers and stuff. Like, come on, man, that's crazy.
Right. So that's why I kind of saying like the badge glitch, where if someone has like there was a glitch where you could basically you could play one game and then just reload the save to keep getting the points from that game over and over again. So that just allowed you to get your badges faster. But as far as a demigod glitch, I mean that it breaks the game in that your player has way more badges than is supposed to be in the game. Like that's breaking the balance that 2K laid out as far as badges. So like that I think would impact everyone else's, experience, because there's someone who's like that shouldn't belong in the game. But if someone did a glitch to save time and where they have all their badges that is allowed in the game, like I'm fine with that.
Okay, so bottom line, do you agree with glitching? But actually, before that, let's just go into a little more examples of glitching, just to give the listeners more in-depth analysis, because there's also things that are glitch-like. So people call when you crouch behind uh certain things in Call of Duty, people call it head glitch, where it's nearly impossible for them to see you, and but you can see them. So if you're crouching behind like a barrel, sometimes your gun in your head can't be seen by the opponent, but you can see everything. How do you feel about that kind of glitching? Or is that actually
Yeah,
glitching?
I don't think I don't know if that's necessarily glitching by our definition because that's just how the game was made. Basically, because
And
you're
that's a hole, though, don't you think? It's a hole in the game. I'm sure
it's
that
the
the creators didn't want people to be able to see you and you not be able to see them.
I don't think that's necessarily intended, but as far as Call of Duties, that's how they've been made for years. They haven't changed it. So
Uh,
because the player model, when your player, your viewpoint is technically coming out of like the top of your head. So that's why on the other guy's screen, all he sees is the very top of your forehead peeking out, but you can see like everything. So I mean that's definitely why it's called a head glitch. Um, is it necessarily a glitch? I don't know because they're not Call of Duty's not fixing it. It's just kind of been that way forever. So like I mean I would use that in the game. I
so what about? Oh, what happened?
I
What happened?
I was like I mean I would hope that there would be a resolution to it, but I mean still a big problem in the newest Call of Duty Modern Warfare where because they implemented the leaning feature where or you can mount on a ledge or a corner and you basically peek around the corner, but the player models don't sync up with what you see. So it looks like on your screen that you're just peeking around the corner, but on the enemy screen they can see like most of your body, and
Oh, so it's
it's
a
just
reverse effect.
yeah, it's just all sorts of messed up because your viewpoint kind of doesn't match with your player model. So you might not even be able to see around the corner, but on their screen your whole body's around the corner. So it's just
It's
it it
crazy.
it
See,
just
I didn't even
doesn't
know
seem
about
to
that.
it just doesn't really ever seem to be fixed. So it's just kind of something you gotta as far as if you want to be competitive, if you want to use it to gain the competitive advantage, you kind of just gotta know how it works and just position your body in a way that gets you in that advantage.
I mean, that one is kind of understandable because I feel like in real life, if you're peeking around a corner, they're gonna see you. Like unless you have
Right.
that new futuristic gun that like kind of bends, but
Right. Well, the problem is in the new Call of Duty is that there's times where you can't see around the corner, but your body like is sticking out. Like on their screen, like your head is peeking out, but you can't see them because of the way that the camera angles
oh,
work. It's a weird issue on its own.
interesting. But now another game. This is a very interesting glitch that I really think, because before you heard me say that I believe in hacking and modding solo player games and stuff, but in the new Pokemon games, certain Pokemon are very, first of all, from uh I guess a competitive Pokemon player standpoint, I feel like acquiring the Pokemon in the Pokédex are fairly on the easier side. So I think that the game is already easy enough to catch rare Pokemon, but certain Pokemon that are really rare only appear in certain weather conditions in the game. So let's put this into perspective. It's a game about catching every Pokemon in the game. That's that's like the main goal of the actual game, besides beating the league and the champion as well. So there's a way now to make the Pokemon appear without it actually having the correct like requirements. So people are going into their system settings and changing the time and date to make weather change. Now, me, I think that ruins like the fun of the game because that is the point of the game. It's not like 2K. I guess it's kind of the same because you're trying to acquire Pokemon to do other things. But I feel like the main point is to catch them all. You're trying to be like Ash, trying to catch them all. And guys are out here changing the weather changing the time to go months into the future so that they can catch certain Pokemon. And there's one guy on YouTube who's he's avid about it. He promotes it, tells everyone to do it. And then there's another guy who is more traditional. He doesn't want anyone to do it. He reported it. So that's a little drama going on in the Pokemon world. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Well, did you use that exploit?
I have not used that exploit. I feel like I can catch the real Pokemon without doing that. I just gotta wait. But I mean, I have I think around 320, 340 Pokemon in my decks, and I can't even play that crazy. Like I just go hard when I can play, but I'm not. I'm catching a lot. I mean, so that's just how I feel.
Yeah, no. Well, as far as this glitch, this is very, you know, this is a glitch that doesn't really affect other people, and that obviously believe that anyone can play however they want. And there's some Pokemon that only spawn in one weather condition in one location, and in those perfect conditions, there's only like a 2% chance of that Pokemon spawning. So, and, I mean, and this is also information that we really only know because people, went into the game files and looked up the exact spawn rates. And knowing that, going on these Pokemon like database websites, which that's another debate is because if people if that's right for people to look up all this information. Like I'm kind of in the sense that I'll play it kind of casually at first, but honestly, in the interest of saving time, yeah, I'll look up on these websites. I'll look at the spawn rates and the location, and if it saves me some time, I'm gonna change the system settings and find that Pokemon, because especially knowing that it's in one location, one weather condition at a low percentage. I mean, the chances of me coming across that, just playing the game naturally, like I might never. I'll probably become bored of the game long before I ever find that Pokemon, just because I might not even know it exists because I just never seen it.
See, the only thing that I have to say about that is that the thing that this Pokemon databases have are like the secret locations that these Pokemon spawn at. But in your Pokédex, if you do see the Pokemon, it they usually have one. If it's in your game, like if it's not an exclusive that's in the other game, you can find one place that it is, and it'll show you the weather condition. So, and there's also a feature where you can see the current weather around the map, so you can just know, like, all right, I gotta wait for the next day, or I gotta wait for that situation for that. But
yes, those I was just gonna jump in. Those do
yeah.
help, and that's what I was primarily using. Was those things, those additions to the Pokédex that do make it easier to find these like kind of less common Pokemon. But those recommendations below that Pokédex that show you Pokemon. Well, the recommendations did stop, but actually, that's as soon as you see the Pokemon, you can go to the habitat and it's Pokédex. But I believe some don't show you the habitat, even some that are not exclusive. I may be wrong now, but anyways, continue.
Some don't. I just powered up my Switch just to see. So basically, I've been waiting for a Milotic to spawn, and now it's snowing all over the map. I guess because it's snowing. I'm not sure if it's snowing because it's snowing in real life where I'm at, but yeah. So it's snowing all over the map. So all I gotta do is just go to Lake Outrage and go find it. Now, me, I like. There's certain things that, of course, that's the thing. I wouldn't know where Milotic spawns if I didn't look at the databases that are on the internet. But I believe that the databases are helpful as long as you use them the right way. So I have no problem knowing where one thing spawns at exact time and exact moment. But to me, just changing the game file to fast forward, I think that's a little excessive. I mean, it's just, to me, we're about to get on to the next topic, as when is it crossing the line. It's about that, just crossing the line. So me, I just know that some people, they don't try to catch everything without the actual game info, and they'll just go past, they'll just speed right past all the natural players, and they'll just go and get what they were looking for. But if you're looking for that last 10 Pokemon, the last 15, truthfully, I would say like the last 5, like maybe alter the time and stuff like that. But like if you're going smooth, I would say just try to go naturals, because I feel like it takes the love out of the game. Just like how like people go hard to get one they try to get one level or one, if you're going so hard to get that one prestige, how back in the day people used to glitch and have their friends help them nuke boost and stuff like that. I feel like when you do that, it's taking the fun out of it because once you get to that level, it's like why play the game anymore? You know what I mean?
I yeah, I agree on those as far as boosting back in the way back when for 2 days. As far as playing naturally, I mean, there's a lot of evolutions that unless you're like a poke head that you're not going to know about. How to get certain friendship levels or which Pokemon you have to do what to evolve them. I mean, there's just a lot that if you played it naturally, it would take a lot of time. But if that's how you want to play, I mean, that's fine. But I don't. I'm fine with you doing whatever it takes. And I think maybe that's kind of where the gaming community is headed because obviously there's so many YouTubers that make their living off creating content that it's the non-natural players that are going to YouTube to look up tutorials or look up oh, how do I do this in this game? It's there's people who have their whole careers are based off people wanting to look up how to do stuff.
I mean, I guess you're kind of winning me over a little bit on this side. I just think it's just this is like a personal thing. It's not really a competitive advantage. It's more of like a morality type of feeling where it's like, do you want to go hard and get it yourself, or do you want to fast forward time? I mean, I haven't done the fast forward time yet, but like if I am on that last one and I really can't get, I potentially might do it. I mean, I'm trying my hardest not to. And correction, also, I think Milotic doesn't spawn during ice at Lake of Outrage. I think it's also heavy fog or overcast, something like that. Just for the Pokemon heads out there. But I think that's one reason why. See, this is a lot less of a glitch in comparison to like the 2K ones or like the aimbots. And I mean, aimbots is a mod, but like you know what I mean, like the glitches in Call of Duty, like back in the day. I feel like a lot of the Call of Duty glitches back in the day were purely fun, like how that Urban Dictionary definition was. Like I remember in Modern Warfare 1, you can go to like one part and like that was back in the day when like for some reason you can like I forgot what it was called, but you would shoot up in the air and you would be in like the sky. You know what I mean?
I think some are called like elevator glitches.
Elevated glitches, yeah. That's people who just shoot up into the sky and like with Modern Warfare 1, you can like go off the map, go outside the map, be behind like the fences and kill people.
Yeah, so like I think there's even I was going to touch on there's like communities based around glitching, and I think there's a decently small community about just like like Call of Duty like out of map glitchers, and that's kind of what they do is they have fun like trying to find creative ways to get out of the map, and so like I think that's fine. But yeah, if you're using that in an online lobby and there's a bunch throughout all Call of Duty history where you get out of the map, you can shoot people, but then they can't shoot you.
Yeah,
that's kind of crossing the line, I think.
And it also depends on what you're doing it for. So if you're doing it to create a funny YouTube video, if you're sorry for the dog, that's my dog barking. If you're doing it for the YouTube, like the YouTube watchers love that, but the guys playing against you hate it. So it's also just like finding the balance about what's fun and what's See, but nowadays it's like so many more competitive. Like there's competitive matchmaking and stuff now. So Call of Duty has done some things to like eliminate the glitching because a lot of times you're in a competitive lobby, you don't have the time to do a glitch. You're going to get killed. So that's also that.
Yeah. And as far as the people, I mean, I think if there's someone who's creating YouTube content, even if they never do the glitch themselves, uploading the glitch is probably way worse. Like uploading
that is true. That is true.
Tutorial how to do the glitch.
And that's like one of the biggest downfalls of glitching because these glitches would not like back in the day. Actually, I don't know because I was about to say how the glitches spread so fast now. I was gonna say YouTube wasn't as big as it is now, and like it still was. The glitches were spreading around. Like we still knew about them. We were in like middle school, still finding about glitches through our friends. So the community just had different ways of spreading the glitches around and stuff like that. But the fact that people can make money off it on YouTube, that's the big reason why glitching is just going off the wall right now. And there's a lot of guys making videos about how the glitchers are ruining the gaming community, and you know how the glitches are. They're like, nah, we're making it fun. So, and it's so hard to find that crossing the line point because of that. Like, I don't like glitchers, but watching glitch videos are so fun. And that's when we can talk about how Jarvis, how he did his whole little aimbot thing, and that video was pretty funny. Not gonna lie. And then, but he got banned for life, and it's just crazy how because I was watching an interview with FaZe Banks, and he was talking about how like he like any regular Joe Schmo can make a video, do that, get banned, make another account, and just be lit. He can't do that because he's so high profile. Like they're watching him, they're making sure that if he's making another account playing the game, he's not making any money off of it. So
Right. No, exactly. So as far as that kind of whole situation, I think the general kind of online opinion was that he was in the wrong. But I'm sure I know he has a pretty big fan base, so I'm sure there's some people defending him. I don't know what was kind of. I'm not sure what your stance on basically, if he deserved to get banned for life or.
I don't think he deserved to get banned for life, but if I was playing against him, I would have been sick. That's for sure. But it was a funny video. I mean, I guess I'm not a really big believer in aimbots like that. It's just a little overboard to me. I feel
Yeah.
like he did some other things to make it funny, but
I mean, in that video too, he was. It was just he was painting like aimbotting and modding and as like a kind of like a fun, happy thing, which is he's basically promoting kind of hacking, which I
yeah,
think. I mean, and I know he had the video he released of him kind of breaking down and talking about how upset he was, and how I mean he has a point, right, that creating Fortnite content like was his career. That's what he built up, and so it sucks that he was banned. But when you have that kind of responsibility, I think it might be a little harsh, but I think it's especially I don't know the terms of service of Fortnite, but if it's in the terms of service, then yeah, they're gonna ban you.
I don't think they were banning on his specific act. I think they were doing a prevention ban because who knows what would happen if guys start doing it in competitive gameplay.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
mean,
usually
there's
what happens. Like you let someone do it, or you give them a light ban, and people can start doing it in competitive. They're like, what's the chances I get caught? What's the, you know what I mean? And what was I about to say? Like I feel like he just went about it different. Like he could have just got a group of his friends, got them in a playground, had that aimbot going. That would have been hilarious because they would not know what was going on. He could have had the reactions going on. He could have had them going crazy about what was going on, and then he could at the end of the video, he could have just been like, "Yo, guys, I had an aimbot. This is for a video." And then bam,
yeah,
doesn't get banned. Mad fun, same amount of content. He might even have a better reaction because he has his friends going crazy while he's lasering them. Oh, that's what I would do.
yeah. No, that's a good idea. Hopefully, no one takes that. No, I'm playing. Yeah. So as far as competitive, I remember. I'm sure there's. I want to say recently, maybe like a year ago or so, in CS:GO, which is it's been a competitive, first person shooter for a while. And there was a guy who got caught on a professional team. I think it was like using an aimbot, and I don't remember. He was definitely. He might have just been kind of like banned for a couple of games. I don't remember what his exact punishment was. I don't think he was banned from the entire sport. Of course, probably should have looked this up, but it definitely happens in competitive. Is basically my point, and
it's crazy.
I just yeah, and if anything, like because that's there's that's the closest difference between a really good player and aimbotting is going to be in competitive. So it's probably the hardest to actually detect if someone's using aimbot is in competitive. So that's where it can be pretty tricky. But I mean, obviously, for a lot of reasons, no one's going to want aimbot in competitive. And so I think promoting it in any way is just, I kind of think it was deserved.
All right, so as we wrap it up, what's your final deliberation on glitching? Who want to go
Final,
first?
uh, just that if it's not hurting anyone else, go for it, have fun, but obviously be aware of the consequences, especially if you're doing something that's unintended. Because the game developers, have every right if you're doing something to exploit a game, they have every right to maybe ban you, especially if it's in their terms of service or whatever. So just be aware of what you're doing. Don't always follow what YouTubers do too, especially when they're
Definitely.
uploading those new fire glitch, get all your Pokemon, just
New fire glitch.
yeah.
Word. All right, so my deliberation is solo player games. I guess it's cool to glitch and do whatever you want to do. You're still going to be labeled kind of corny to me because I'm just trying to think like, I mean, if you're a little kid, the game's too hard for you. All right, but if you're an average player playing the game, I'm just thinking like, imagine playing like I don't get the point of playing a game and glitching to make it easier. Like it's making it more fun, but like find that balance between making something fun and making it easier. Because like like that's like back in the day, like as a kid, you use the cheat codes in Grand Theft Auto to freaking blow through the entire game. They put some little walls in the game where the cheat codes didn't work for certain situations. So that's kind of a game in-game balancing of the situation. But like I don't know, imagine like Spider-Man where you can turn into the Hulk type Spider-Man, you just beat everybody in one punch. Like I'm sure there's mods like that, but why even do that? Like why is that fun? Unless you're like you just want to have fun punching people once and killing them like Saitama. I don't know. But also for Pokemon, I say don't do the glitch unless you're freaking on your last breath in need of the last Pokemon or something like that. So solo playing games, I guess it's all right. But competitive advantage, I hate you if you glitch for competitive advantage. I hate you. That's aimbotting in the mods. That's finding loopholes in the game, exploiting it, figuring out it, like in 2K. There's a whole bunch like beyond the badge glitches and stuff like that. Like demigod glitch, stop, destroy your game. Don't do that. And also not as much, but like there used to be like little exploits where like you can do certain moves and people just wouldn't be able to guard you. Yeah, that's a tricky subject right there because I feel like if I knew how to do those, I would 100% do it. But you shouldn't. You should not, guys. Play the game correctly. Have fun. You know what? Have fun. Just have fun. Have fun doing what you're doing. And like Ryan said, accept your consequences if they come your way. That's Clay Bands out. We catch y'all next
catch up.
time. Enjoy the intro music. I mean, outro. Yeah.